Okay, before we do the Kerio tutorial, I just wanted to quickly explain what Kerio is so you know why you're downloading this and how you should be using it. Kerio is the shared server for all things terroir, sort of like a Dropbox, but it lives on everybody's computer. After you install it and synchronize the brands to your computer, all of the terroir folders will live on Kerio on your desktop so they're accessible at any time. And this is where it'll show up in your Finder bar. Kerio workspace, terroir selections, and then you see the brands. Right now I only have some of them synchronized, but once you synchronize all of them, you'll see the list of brands here all the time on your computer. So this is what it looks like, a folder for each brand, and then once you click on the brand, there's basically the same folder architecture within each brand, so it's consistent. They should all have distributors, marketing, photography, press, etc. So that you can always find things across brands, you know where to look. We encourage you to save all of your work files to Kerio for two reasons. First, that means they're always backed up in case your computer crashes. Second, it means they're accessible to the whole team so that ultimately we should have these big databases for each brand of anything anyone could ever need, from PowerPoints to pricing to inventory reports, so that when you need something, you're not wondering, okay, who do I email for that? Who would have this file? You should just be able to look on Kerio, look in the appropriate folder, and find whatever you need. So that's the goal. We just started using Kerio in January of 2013, so not everything is uploaded here yet. Some of the folders you'll notice are skimpy or empty, but ultimately we want to get everything on here, so that's why we're encouraging everybody to use it. The advantage over Dropbox for us is internally at Terroir is that all of these folders are already shared to everyone in the organization. So when you add a new file or a new folder, you don't need to go to, click a button to share this to somebody or send them a link to then go on the internet and download a file. It's just automatically on their computer. Basically within a few minutes of you adding a file, it'll show up on everybody else's computer. The other advantage is that with Dropbox, we've used Dropbox a lot in the past, and the issue that we had was things would get really disorganized. I might create a folder called Fable, and 5 other people might create folders called Fable, and I might have access to all of them, but I can't ever remember, okay, were the photos in my Fable folder or Andrea's Fable folder? So the idea here is we set it up from the start to have all of these brands and to have basically the same folders within each brand, so there's not duplicates and it doesn't get disorganized. Similar to Dropbox, this is a great way to share files that are too large to email. So anytime you're working with something that normally you would use Dropbox or you send it, you can just save it here and then let the other team member know where on Kerio you saved it. Lastly, just make sure you have Kerio running all the time so that it's always synchronizing. You'll always be able to see this in your Finder toolbar over here, even if Kerio isn't on. So you need to make sure that you have the desktop application open so that it's just automatically syncing things as you do it. Sometimes I will work on things for a few days and not notice that Kerio isn't running, and so it hasn't been synchronizing, and I'm expecting that everybody else can see the progress or the new photos that I've added or whatever it is, and really they're not because it's not synchronizing. So just check to make sure you have Kerio open all the time, and that's it. Now I'll get to the tutorial.